You ever notice how some games just die before they even get a chance to breathe? And it's not because the game is bad, no, no. It's marketing. Specifically, we're the competitor to X marketing trap. And today, we're going to talk about why exactly you should not do. Let's start with a classic example Rift. Released in 2011 by Tryon Worlds, it was a high quality MMORPG with mechanics that were genuinely innovative at the time. Dynamic world events, class souls that let you mix and match abilities. It had its own identity. But here's the problem with this the marketing called it a World of Warcraft competitor. Pause. Think about that for a second. Instead of selling Rift for what it was, they sold it as what it wasn't. Every headline, every player discussion, every forum post, Rift versus WoW. Not Rift has cool dynamic events, not Rift has customizable classes. It was always about comparison. And here's the thing this isn't just bad, it's catastrophic. When you frame your game as a competitor's knockoff, you immediately position it as inferior until proven otherwise. You are inviting criticism of your game. Every tiny flaw is amplified because it's not your game failed me, it's your game failed compared to a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut. Think about it. Would you rather talk about the things that your game does or the things that it doesn't do compared to somebody else? And it doesn't just stop at marketing. Players catch on fast. Once a game is labeled an X this or better than Y, every decision is scrutinized against that benchmark. Players prejudge the game before it even launches. They don't ask, is this fun? They ask, does this beat the competitor? Big example, Lawbreakers. This game released 2 or 3 weeks after Overwatch released? People were framing it as a break from Overwatch or whatnot. I think I saw an article like that at the time. This game was DOA. You know why? Because it was only talked about in the context of Overwatch. Rift was only talked about in the context of WoW. Press and influencers, they love this. Headlines write themselves. Lawbreakers. Is this the death blow to Overwatch? Lawbreakers. Is this the break that you need from Overwatch? Etc. etc. The problem is that every praise, every criticism becomes relative, not absolute. It's not Rift is fun, it's Rift is fun for a WoW clone. Lawbreakers is fun for an Overwatch clone. Your game gets trapped in someone else's shadow. And here's the kicker. Once that X thing or become better than Y label sticks, you lose control of your own narrative. Every message, every trailer, every blog post is just reiterating what you aren't. Big example, XDefiant, multiplayer FPS created to compete with the Call of Duty series by Ubisoft. You can't play this game anymore, by the way. The servers got shut down. And mind you, people were only talking about this game in comparison to COD. You're just reiterating what you aren't. You're telling your players with this type of marketing or with this type of game design that we're trying to beat this game, or, my bad, instead of, hey, check out this awesome game that you should play. And then comes the expectations. Gamers accept your small or medium-sized studio. You saw this with Temtem gaining a lot of players after Dexit. Remember Dexit, guys? Oh my gosh, Sword and Shield was 7, 8 years ago? 6, 7, 8 years ago? Anyway, gamers expect your small or medium-sized studio to match the polish, the features, and the player base of a multi-billion-dollar competitor. WoW has decades of expansions and patch support. Rift? Nope. COD has decades of AAA polish, AAA marketing, and cultural influence. XDefiant? Nope. Pokemon has the most profitable IP in the history of mankind. Does Temtem have that? No. Even if your game is going to be objectively fun, players will feel disappointment. Why? Because they were told to expect something that it can never realistically be. So, what happens? Sometimes games survive, but the public perception is set and it sticks. Rift, dormant, kind of. Alive, kind of. I don't know. It has 150 players right now, but it's going to forever be in World of Warcraft Shadow. Temtem, it only got noticed after Pokemon issues made the comparison irrelevant, and even then, pretty sure as of 2025, it has sunsetted support for the game. There will be no new content for Temtem. Lawbreakers, X Defiant, gone. You cannot play these games anymore. Nobody will remember it. So what can we learn here? 1. Stop labeling your game as a competitor to X explicitly. Mark it based on your game's unique points. 3. Comparisons will happen naturally. Don't force them. 4. Your goal is simple. Tell players what your game is, not what it isn't. Because here's the truth. Your game doesn't need to beat someone else to be good. It just needs to be, well, good. So next time you see a game claiming to be a competitor to another game, take a step back and notice what happens to all the ones that tried. And remember, stop comparing. Sell your game, sell its identity, sell what's unique, not what it isn't. What's good? Thank you for watching. If you watched the whole video, drop a comment below, drop a like, drop everything like that, and we out.